Hey everybody. So today we're going to be learning about percent composition and how to calculate it using Oreos and cream. We're going to compare regular Oreos to double stuff. I hope you guys enjoy this lab and I hope you're doing very well.
Hello everybody. Today we are going to do a lab activity about percent composition. So yesterday we learned how to calculate percent composition using the formula, and we learned that percent composition is actually the percent of each element in a substance. What that can be useful for is determining the chemical formula, identifying unknown elements or chemicals or substances, and a whole host of other things. Today we're going to look at the percent of cream in regular versus double stuffed Oreos. So we were told that double stuffed Oreos are double the amount of cream. Today we're going to look and see if that's actually the case by mass. Kind of fun. All right, so we're going to start by writing the purpose of our lab. So if you could pull up your lab paper, it should be posted on Schoology for you. We're going to start with the purpose. So the purpose of this lab is to determine if double stuff Oreos actually have double the filling. And please excuse my horrible handwriting. Not really much I can do about that. Your hypothesis. All right, so I'm not going to write anything here because I don't want you to copy mine. But you're going to write your hypothesis right now. What you should tell me is, do you think double stuffed Oreos actually have double the stuffing? And explain why or why not, right? Maybe you think they only have 10% more stuffing. Maybe you think they have 20% more stuffing. I don't know. But you can choose. So spend a few minutes, pause the video, right, and write your hypothesis now. Alrighty, so now that you've finished writing your hypothesis, we're going to just go through your materials quickly. So you need a regular Oreo, a double stuffed Oreo, a plastic knife. I'm using a metal knife just because I have one handy, electric balance, and a calculator. Okay, so make sure you have all those things. And again, you can watch me do this. If you have the materials to do this at home, you can do this yourself as well. It's pretty fun. Plus, then you get to eat the Oreos. So your procedure. All right, we're going to go through the procedure together, and we're going to do this activity together. So for number one, you're going to measure the mass of the regular Oreo and record this on your data table. All right, so I'm going to grab my scale. Here it is, right here. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. Now, normally we do mass in grams. I know it's a little hard to see that. There we go. All right, I am going to do it in ounces. And the reason I'm using ounces instead of grams is because my scale is really accurate for ounces, but not for grams. Normally, again, we're going to do this in grams. And if you want to try this with a gram scale, it's much, much more accurate. So if you can do grams, do it. I'm just going to use ounces, right? And I'm going to grab my package of Oreos. Woohoo! Yum, yum. All right, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take out one Oreo. I'm going to place my Oreo on the scale. So I'm going to take my Oreo and place it. Make sure your scale says 0. Okay, mine says 0. I'm doing pretty good so far. Okay, and I get 0.38 ounces, right? 0.38. I'm going to remove my Oreo from the scale. Just going to scoot that over. Okay, then I'm going to turn to my data table, my next page. So for my regular Oreo, I'm going to write down 0.38 ounces. Okay, sweet. Now I need to find the mass of the cream only. I'm going to go back to my directions. Okay, and here it says, measure the mass of the double stuffed Oreo. Record on the data table. Okay, so I'm going to do the double stuffed. Grab my other package here. Here it is. Ooh, and the party size. Woohoo! This is Bazicki's not gonna be gonna have to work out a lot more over the break. No, very exciting. So I don't eat because I don't want to eat all those Oreos. It's a lot of Oreos, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna measure the double stuffed. Right here it is. So 0.52 ounces. 0.52 ounces. I'm going to take that off. Right? I'm going to go to my data table. Mass of the double stuffed Oreo, 0.52 ounces. All right, so now for each of these Oreos, I'm going to measure the mass of the cream. All right, so back to your instructions. Take the regular Oreo apart. Scrape as much of the cream off as possible with the plastic knife. Measure the mass and record it on the data table. Okay, so I'm going to get my scale back here. Hopefully y'all can see. Perfect. Alrighty, so here is my Oreo cookie. I have separated it. I'm going to scrape that cream off as best I can. Alright, try to put it all there. Don't worry, I'll eat it, guys. Not going to waste food. Alright, and then again, I'm just going to like spend time scraping some of that cream off. Get as much of it off as I can. Alright, so I'm going to take this cookie and I'm going to place it on the scale. And the other side as well. So I'm going to put all that cookie piece back on the scale. Scrape, 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 scrape. Very exciting. There it is. All right. So I'm going to put all the cookie on the scale. All right. Oopsie. I want to make sure it's at 0. Okay. And I get 0.24 ounces. All right. Now that's not the mass of my cream, which is actually what I need for my data table. That's the mass of the cookie, right? So I need to subtract those numbers. Okay. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy calculator here. Woohoo. It's actually my fault, but same deal. Right? And I'm going to subtract 0.38 minus 0.24. And I get 0.14. So the mass of the cream is going to be 0.14 ounces for the regular Oreo. Right? So again, that is the regular Oreo. Okay? Now to find the percent cream here, we're going to have to do a little bit of math, which we're going to do together. Let me take this off. Take a bite. Yum, yum. Okay. Now we're going to do the double stuff. Here's my double stuff Oreo. Looks fabulous. Look at all that stuffing. Okay. Going to open that up. All right. I'm going to scrape all this off. Right. Make sure my scale is at 0. Put my cookie on there. 1/2 of the cookie. Get all that off. And again, you really want to scrape as much of this off as you can. I'm going to do my best. All right? All right? 0.24. Now, obviously, it should be about the same, right? Because it's the same cookie. Regular and double stuffed Oreos have the same cookie. It's just the amount of cream that should be different. So I'm going to subtract this one, too. So I'm going to do 0. Clear that out. 0.52 minus 0.24. That's going to give me 0.28 ounces. 0.28 ounces. Okay? Ooh, very cool, right? Now, let's find the percents. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. Alrighty. Scale for us. And let's do some calculations. So if we look on our previous sheet of paper, right, we're going to see, I'm going to fold this actually so y'all can see. We're going to see the formula here, right? So your percent frosting is the mass of the cream divided by the total regular mass times 100, okay? And we're going to repeat that same thing for the double stuffed. So I'll show you how to set this up on your paper. All right, so the mass of your cream is 0.14 ounces, okay? The total mass is 0.38 ounces, right? So you're going to divide those, and then you're going to do your answer times 100. We'll X here times, all right? Some parentheses there, so the math teachers are happy with me, all right? Now I'm going to do this in the calculator, okay? So I'm going to do 0.41, or 14, excuse me, divided by 0.38, okay? I always hit equals. It's really a good thing to hit equals before you times by 100. Some calculators, like mine, actually will do the correct calculation, but others will not. So just be mindful of that. So I'm going to do that times 100. Right? So I get 36.84% cream. All right. So So 36.84% of my regular Oreo is cream. Yum. Okay. Now let's do double stuff. All right. So we're gonna set it up the same way. Put that down a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna do my mass of my cream, which is 0.28 ounces, divided by my total mass, which is 0.52 ounces. Okay, and then times 100. Please make sure you write that out. Okay, I'll put the answer here too, just so we've got that. All right, so again, let's repeat that. Oops, I know that glare is a little bad, so I'll pull the calculator a little closer so we can see. Right, so 0.28 divided by 0.52 equals times 100. All right, so we get 53.85. I'm going to round up. Notice it's 846. I'm going to make that 85. Oh, there you go. All right. So 53.85% of that Oreo by mass is cream. All right. Now, when we look at this information, is the double stuffed actually double the amount of cream by mass of the Oreo? Right, it isn't. So here's 36%. If it was actually double, it would have to be double that amount, right? So in this case, it's only 53.85%. So the percent composition tells us that regular and double stuffed Oreos, as far as the percent of mass of the cream, is not actually double the amount. Now, the one thing that's really interesting, they do call it double stuffed for a reason, though. All right, and again, this is where you're looking in your conclusion, your further questions. I'm not going to write that for you, right? You guys are going to be responsible for doing that part before you submit it, okay? But what I do want you to think about is, if you look here, the mass only, if you're not comparing it to the mass of the cookie or any of that, or any of those things, notice that your mass of your cream for regular Oreos is 0.14 ounces, and your mass of your cream here is 0.28. This is actually double this. So even though the cookie is the same, the cream is, there is actually double the amount of cream. It's just not double the amount by mass or percent. So keep that in mind, right? That's something you can talk about in your conclusion, right? Remember that with your conclusion, I'll just write it on the side here, but you do need to restate the purpose. All right, that's the first thing you should do. Discuss your data. Tell me something that you learned, and then talk about possible errors. All right, there's a lot of possible errors here. I am not a perfectionist. All right, if you look at my my cream here, my cream scraping job, all right, you'll notice that I didn't do the best job. Now I could probably lick the Oreo, but you know, I don't really want to lick the Oreo because then my saliva gets on there and that might mess with their data too. So there are some issues going on here. Obviously, we can't remove all the cream from the Oreo. It's impossible. Please make sure you do a further question as well. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you have an Oreo fix now, you probably want to, you know, find some Oreos, order them online so you don't have to go out to the store. That's a good Oreo. You know, I actually think I like the regular better than the double stuffed. Double stuffed is a little too much filling for me.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the Oreo lab, and I hope you're having a wonderful time learning some stuff about moles and percent composition and all those great things. Have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy.